everyone, and welcome back. Actually, I can't say welcome back just yet, but welcome to my first ever episode of my podcast, Real Talk with Rishima. I'm so happy you guys clicked here, and I'm so happy to have you guys here, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. So, if you guys don't already know me, my name is Rishima, and I'm assuming you guys don't know me because this is my first ever episode. And if you're watching visually, and if you guys see me on my phone throughout this video or like podcast episode, it's because I have a whole outline of like what to say. It's not a script. I don't want to say script because that defeats the whole purpose of real talk, but like, you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I basically have like a whole outline of all the things that I want to say just because I had to come a little bit prepared, you know, like I can't just start talking and like, you know. Most of you guys might know me here from YouTube, or you're watching this because you know me personally. I feel like that's a lot of you guys because I will be promoting this on my social media, so you guys are definitely here from that if you're like the first few viewers. But if you guys don't already know who I am, which I'm assuming you don't, I am Rishima, and I am a high school student based in the suburbs of Illinois. I am a content creator, and my main platform that I use is YouTube. That's the platform that I'm most known for, I guess. I love making lifestyle videos, and I make content such as Get Ready With Me's, Days in My Lives, clothing hauls, pulling all-nighters, just a bunch of like daily vlogs, content, this, that, like your usual teenage girl things. And today I'm going to unravel and reveal, I don't want to say reveal, okay, but today I'm going to tell you guys all about me as a content creator and me as someone who has been in this social media industry for like my whole life. Like let me just tell you that I've been doing content creation ever since I could remember, and it may not sound like it because if you look at my YouTube channel, you will see that the videos are like 3, 4, 5 years old, but I have been doing it ever since I was like 6 or 7, so I definitely want to talk more about that. But yeah, that is basically who I am. And the reason why I started this podcast, if you guys are wondering, is because I've always been super passionate about content creation, and I've always been super passionate about like social media. It's always been one of my like biggest hobbies, and I feel like I've been doing it for so long that it got to a point where I was just like, I wanted to expand my horizons. Like I know it's really cliche, and I know people are like, oh yeah, like you need to do more, but like that's the thing, like I have been craving to like do more. Like I know that sounds okay, maybe you guys like get what I'm trying to say, but if you don't, I completely understand because maybe I'm not wording it right. But I have been looking and like yearning for a new passion project, and a podcast has been calling my name. Like let me tell you guys, I've been wanting to start a podcast for like 3 years now, and it has been in the works for 1 year, literally less than a year. So that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna look at my outline again. I'm gonna keep this real with you guys, and sorry, okay. But point is, I'm gonna keep this really real with you guys, and I am gonna look at my outline real quick. Okay, so the first thing that I want to start off with is how I started my YouTube channel. I feel like this is a question that I get all the time on my YouTube comments, on my Instagram DMs, on my TikTok, on my this, that. Like that is the most essential question, or like not essential, what? That's the most asked question that you guys ask me. Well, obviously. And that is, why did you start YouTube? What made you start it? How long have you been doing it? Yada, 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 yada. I will get into everything, okay? So let's get into it. Growing up, I was always surrounded by boys. I had boy cousins from left to right. I was really close to this cousin of mine. And growing up, he was like my biggest inspiration just because he was the person that I spent literally my whole like childhood with, and that's the one person that I looked up to for the whole of my childhood. And he was, I remember being like 5, 6, 7 years old, and he would make videos. Just looking at him, I would always ask him and be like, oh, like let me be in it, you know, like and growing up, I wanted to always be the center of attention, just because I always was, because I was the only girl in my family, like the only girl, kid, cousin, child, whatever you want to call it. So I did get a lot of attention from that. That was also the highlight of every single time that I would hang out with my cousin. The highlight was just like, oh, what are we filming today? Like, what YouTube video are we making today? And it was like superhero skits and like try not to laugh challenges. And there was this one where it was like marshmallows in your mouth. Like, what is it called? It was like chubby bunny challenges. Those were like the it things. I don't know if you guys have any idea what I'm talking about. Maybe I sound crazy, but it was like little challenges and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much how I got the exposure to YouTube, like content creation wise, very, very young. And then a lot of artists, or not artists, but YouTubers were trending, like such as like JC and Casey, Alicia Marie, Rebecca Zamolo, the LeBrant family, the Ace family. Like there were so many YouTubers that I would watch, and I would just be like, oh my God, this is the dream. Like I want to have a camera. Okay, that was my dream. I was like, I need a camera. I want to make slime videos. I want to make Wenji was also popular, Natalie's Outlet, Karina Garcia. Like those were all the YouTubers that I watched growing up. If you have no idea who they are, just search them up, you'll see what I mean. It was like a bunch of like kid content, even like awesometoys.com or something. It was like awesomeness toys or something, I don't know. Those were the artists. Why do I keep saying artists? I mean, they are artists, but those were the creators that I would look up to and watch. So yeah. But then obviously we grew up, and 2-3 years passed, and that's when my cousin was like going off to high school, and he actually had like school and other stuff to worry about. He then stopped making videos, and because he stopped, I didn't know what to do, because also I was really young. I didn't have a phone or anything like that. Or maybe he was going into middle school. I don't really remember. Okay, so he was either going to middle school or high school, but I still remember being really young and I didn't have a phone. So then I moved houses, and we kind of like lived an hour apart, or an hour away, so I wouldn't really hang out with him as I need water, sorry. Okay, so we wouldn't really hang out with him as much anymore because I moved. And then I had this iPad that my mom gave me, and she would only use it to like play music, but I would always steal it from her. Not steal it, I would just take it from her. And that's when I started my own thing. So what I would do was I would go on my iPad and I would click the camera button and film a video, and I would make hour-long videos of me just holding my iPad like the whole day, walking around my house, making slime, talking to my dad, doing magic tricks, and I don't know, like cartwheels, and I honestly don't know. I just did random stuff, okay? And then I moved houses again, and I've been a frequent mover my whole life. Like if you guys want a podcast, ooh, that's a nice podcast episode. I moved back to my hometown, or like near there, and I had this friend that I was really close to. Like we were family friends, and I kind of just like not forced her, like we both were kind of on the same like page, and we wanted to start a YouTube channel together, and we were like little kids, like come on. So we started a YouTube channel together. It was like both of our names, and I think that channel is still up, but none of the videos are up, so thank God that she deleted them because they're so cringy. But I mean, I would show you guys if I could, or like if it was up, I definitely would plug it, just because I know it would be cringy, but it'd be cool to kind of see like the where it all started, if that makes sense. But that's basically where everything started. And then we made a group channel together, and then we would post like a lot, and that is when I actually started learning how to edit. And I used iMovie on my phone because I got a phone then, so I used iMovie on my phone. I was probably like 11 or 12, and we would make thumbnails off of like this like movie maker app thing, and I was really passionate about it. I feel like I put in a lot of effort for that YouTube channel, and we would make like expectation versus reality videos for first day of schools. It was all videos derived, is that the right word? Derived from Alicia Marie's YouTube channel. Like it was all her videos that we would try to recreate, and it was like parodies of that. So we did that, and then COVID hit, and when we were in COVID, that is when I had like so much free time. So I was like, I need to keep posting. So I told my friend, and I was like, let's just split up. Like I'll post videos this day, and then you can post this day. And then I posted those videos, and they got like 50 views. But the thing is, I want you guys to keep this in mind, because I, since day one though, have always been scared to tell people about it. Like I've never been like, oh, like, you know, go subscribe to my channel, you know. Because I was terrified of being bullied, and I knew I was gonna get made fun of for it, because there were a lot of people my age at the time that would start YouTube channels, and they would get bullied for it. And I didn't want to be one of those. And I was really scared to speak up for myself, even though I love speaking up to a camera. So it was pretty weird. Okay, so basically that happened, and then fast forward to the next year, I was in California, homeschooled in California because COVID was still a thing, and it was like online school and hybrid school, but I did online. So I would wake up at like 5 a.m. every morning to do online school because I was still enrolled in my Illinois school, but I was living with my aunt and uncle in California. So the time difference was 2 hours. So I would wake up at 5 a.m. and then I would finish school at by 12 or 1 p.m. So it was really nice, but it wasn't at the same time because I had to wake up so early. It was like pitch black outside. But anyways, okay, tell me why I'm getting onto a different story okay. Point is, it was my birthday, and my parents and my family, they surprised me not surprised me, I feel like I knew because I've always been so passionate about YouTube, but they got me a camera. And they were like, we've noticed that, you need to push yourself to start a channel. And then 8th grade hit, and I was like, you know what, Rishima? You have been waiting. I literally started yelling at myself, and I was like, you know what? You've been waiting. You've been waiting and waiting. You're waiting for this right time, this perfect time. And you're just and that's when I got irritated with myself. I'm rarely ever hard on myself. I've always been a very, loving person to myself. I've always took care of myself, and I've always put in work into myself, from a very young age. The point is, I was like, you have been holding this, okay, for way too long. You're waiting for the right time, the right moment, the right whatever it may be. So basically, it was May. So fast forward May 2022, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 2022. I was in 8th grade, and the beginning of May, I was like, you know what? I have a plan. May 10th is my birthday. I'm going to film a video on my birthday. It's going to be a day in my life, and I am going to vlog at school for the first ever time. That's when I'm going to pop out with this Canon G7X camera that my parents got me, and I haven't even used at school or anywhere in public. And I'm going to start my YouTube career. Okay? That is the day that I was like, I need to do it. Here's why. Okay? This was my reasoning. If I posted that video and it did absolute trash, it literally, if I got bullied for it, if people just commented hateful things, or if people at my school judged me or whatnot, they would hate on me for maximum 2 to 3 weeks, and I would never see them again. Or maybe I would, and if I would never see them again, it would be because that is the year that we're going off to high school. And it's 8th grade. So after middle school, there's 3 high schools that people go to in the area. So it's one of each. So I was like, if anything, it's summertime. And then we're gonna move on to high school. And nobody's gonna remember. Everyone's just gonna be so busy in their high school life. And then, the summer. So it'll brush off, and people would never have to worry about Rishima's flop YouTube channel. Okay? That was my reasoning. And then that was worst case scenario. Now, best case scenario, your YouTube channel goes off the charts, off the charts. But it does really good. Now, if it does really good, you have the best 2-3 weeks of your life in middle school. The whole summer you grind and you post a bunch of videos with your friends, bunch of videos with your family, whatever. And high school, you become a YouTuber, and you go to school confident in filming every day, high school videos, days in lives, whatever they may be. And you're good to go from there. I mean, your whole high school life is set. And that is how I started my YouTube channel, for this current YouTube channel that I have. And I do, yes, a lot of you guys ask me if I think it's cringy, or if I ever want to delete the videos. I do look back at them and I'm cringing the freak out. I'm oh, why did I say that? Or why did I do that? Why am I acting like that? But you know what? That's what I've realized, is that every single thing that I post that I'm proud of in the moment, 2 years later, I look back at it and I'm like, oh my God, why did I say that? And you know what? That is exactly what's going to happen with this video. Okay. I'm going to probably look back at this in a couple years or a couple months maybe. And I'll be like, oh, I don't even know why she's saying that. Why she's talking like that. Because the thing is, we're never truly satisfied with every single thing, and we can never satisfy ourselves. So you know what? So be it. And I look back at those videos and I'm like, oh, that was cringy, but you know what, I'm never going to delete it because that was who I am. That is who I am, and that's what's brought me here. And because of that cringiness, I'm here. And that's why I have this YouTube channel, because I've always been authentic to myself, and I've always kind of just been very real. Sorry, had to clip that, but I'm sorry, I'm not doing that on purpose. I just said real, and then I was like, wait, real talk with Rishima. Okay. But yeah, that's basically how it happened. And I remember after I posted that video, I was so nervous to go to school the next day. I went to school the next day. Oh my God, you guys. Like, people from left, right, center, middle, like literally everywhere I went, people were like, oh, I watched your YouTube video. Like, when did you learn how to edit like that? When did you learn how to film like that and this and that? And they're like, we didn't know you could like make YouTube videos like that, and like your thumbnails and your this, like, why did you never start earlier? And I was like, wait, what? Like, am I dreaming? Like, is this real? And, you know, even teachers would come up to me and they were like, oh, I saw you know, that video that you made me like want to be a part of. It's really good. Like, how did you learn that? And I'm like, that's when I thought to myself, I was like, why didn't I start earlier? That was like, you know, and I was like, you know what? Forget about the past, whatever. I'm just going to stay focused on the present. And that is when I literally used it to the best of my ability. And I was like, I need to start this channel right away. And ever since I got so many good comments on it, I was like, I need to make another video before 8th grade ends, because it's like peak content time. Like, everyone's like with me on this. And 2 weeks had passed, I think like a week or two, and I made a last day of school vlog, or like a couple last days of schools in my life, or something. I don't know. It was like a last day of school vlog, I think. Let me see. One was an average middle schooler's life plus hitting 100 subscribers. And then the other one is my last day of middle school vlog. So I did make 2 vlogs, like in school vlogs. I felt like a celebrity because also middle school is so small. Like, when you look at it, when you really think about it, it's literally like less than like 300 people in your classes and stuff. So that's what happened. That's how it all started. And I'm so beyond grateful for that era. I mean, you guys can definitely check out those videos if you guys are interested, because I feel like me explaining it is one thing, and then me actually like living through that is another. And so you guys can definitely check it out on my YouTube channel. I don't mean to like plug it and be like, like go subscribe, but like actually, like, if you want to see it happening in like real time, or like, you know, you can watch it. That's basically how I like kind of started my YouTube career. And then I just started posting videos from then on out. Like, I just started posting. And then a lot of you guys may be wondering, like, when was the time where you like actually knew you went quote unquote viral? And that was my freshman year of high school. So it was very quick, like in the sense of like how you guys, like my audience, was viewing it, because for this YouTube channel, this was the fastest it has ever grown for any of my channels. But the craziest thing is that people didn't know that like I've been doing this since I was little, because I would never talk about it, or because I've never really like posted or like kept those videos public. So nobody really knew about that part. And the moment where I quote unquote went viral was my freshman year. So it was freshman year, after a long summer of like making a bunch of videos. They were still doing pretty okay. Like, I think they got like 600 views, 700 views. Like, they were still pretty up for the summertime. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna keep going. And it may not sound like a big deal, like 700 views, 800, but at the time, like, I was like in such a la la land, because I was getting more like love in person rather than online. So I didn't really care as much about the comment section and the likes, because in person, every person that I would talk to from school, they would be like, oh my God, like, you do YouTube, like, that's so cool, you know, and they're actually good. Or like, even guys at my school would tell me, and they would be like, I don't even watch like girl YouTubers, but like your videos I've actually watched from start to finish, and they're actually entertaining for someone who's our age from our hometown. And I was like, okay, thanks for that backhanded compliment. But like, I actually was like so thankful for that, because I was like, no way, like a guy from my school actually watched the video like from start to finish. So I was like, okay, I need to drink water again, I'm sorry. I was like, I want to post a get ready with me for freshman year, so let's do it. And I woke up at like 4 a.m. that day, and I was like, okay, like, so basically I got up and I started filming a get ready with me. And then I posted that video, I think the week of the first week of school, or like the week of the first day of school. and I posted it, and then I went to sleep. And this might sound a little like conceited, or maybe like I might kind of sound cocky or like full of myself, but I'm gonna be real with you guys. And okay, I need to stop like laughing every time I say real, because I keep okay, sorry, but I'm actually gonna keep it real with you guys and tell you guys that I always knew that that video was gonna go viral. And you guys y'all may call me crazy or like, but I'm gonna be real. I always knew that video was gonna go viral. I knew that was gonna be the video that would make my whole YouTube channel. And the reason why is because when I started making the content on this channel, I always knew that like Get Ready With Me's were really popular, and first day of school videos were really popular. And I noticed that for a lot of other YouTubers, and like not just me, I'm saying this for a lot of other content creators. Went to sleep, and the next morning I woke up to it having 1,000 views, and I was actually like mind blown, because for me to hit 800 views at the time would take like 5 days. So I was in shock, and I was like, even though I already kind of knew that that video was going to do really good, I didn't think it was going to happen that fast. Like I thought it would take like a little more time. But it hit 1K views, and I posted on my Instagram, and I was like, thank you so much for 1K views. Like this is like the biggest deal ever. And it had like 200 likes, and I was like, wow, like wow. But then the next week had passed, and I think it was like the second week of school, like the first day of the second week of school, and I got a notification from YouTube, and it said that my channel has been monetized. And I was like, I have no idea what that means. Like, what is that? I told my mom, because you can't really be a minor and be monetized. You have to like go under the process of like an adult, like a legal guardian and stuff. So I told my mom, and I was like, it says that I've been monetized. Like, what does that mean? She's like, oh, girl. Like, no, she didn't say that. But, like, she was like, you can get paid for doing YouTube. And I was like, huh? Like, what do you mean by that? And she was like, it says here. And in the thing, like, the email that YouTube sent, like, it was actually YouTube that emailed me and was like, hey, Rishima, like, we've noticed that your video is doing really good. You've hit 1,000 subscribers. You've reached, I think it's like a certain amount of watch hours. For YouTube to get monetized, you have to reach a certain amount of watch hours, and I had reached that. I don't remember the exact hours just because it's been so long, and I don't really look at my analytics that much anymore, but it said that I had reached all the requirements to be able to be monetized, and I had to go through this process of like Google AdSense and like the paying process, whatever. So I told my mom to take care of it, and I was like, okay, whatever. And in my head, I was just like, oh, wow, like, this is so exciting. But, like, I never really processed the fact that, like, this is now considered, like, a little side hustle or, like, job for me, because I'm getting paid to do what I love. And, again, I'm going to keep it real and, like, be very honest with you guys. Like, that was never really my intention, like, that was never really my end goal, like, to get paid. Like, I never looked at YouTube as a way to make income. I always looked at it as a way to kind of be creative and make my own stuff and kind of project in, like, document everything so I can like look back at it and be like, oh wow, like that was my thinking. So my mom was like, oh my god, like this is actually crazy. So she like notified like her whole family and was like jumping up and down, and like our whole family was like, wow, like she can actually like do YouTube and like she's getting paid for, like, this is so cool. And keep in mind, like, I was like 14, so this was also a really big deal for my family, because we didn't really know this was a way of like, wow, like it was still so real or so surreal. And ever since then, I just started being really consistent, and I would post a bunch of videos, and yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I remember my freshman year, especially after that video took off, a lot of people just wanted to be in my videos, and like I felt like I had a lot of friends, or like maybe I even got comments that were like, oh my god, how do you have so many friends, and how do you, but to be honest, that was like the most alone that I've ever felt. Like probably my freshman year, like second half of freshman year, and my full sophomore year, like genuinely did not fit in anywhere. And that's the thing about social media that I feel like is so crazy, is that it may look like one thing, but you really don't know what people are going through, because on camera, in the frame, in my vlogs, like you will see a bunch of people next to me, and they'll be like, Rishima, or like, oh, what's up, this, that, or like, how are you doing? But the second I would turn my camera off, like they would like fly away. Like literally, like everyone would go their own way, and it would hurt. It would definitely hurt. And I feel like a lot of people took advantage of the fact that I would always let them. Like, I've always been the type of person, and I can say this with full confidence, that I've been a people pleaser my whole life. Like, that is literally the reason why I didn't start YouTube earlier, because I've always wanted people to feel like they're better, or give them the benefit of the doubt. And as I'm growing up, and I feel like I'm still not like 100% mature, but as I'm growing up, I'm kind of realizing that like other people's opinions aren't gonna like pay your bills, or like, I don't know, make your future. Like, now I don't let other people's opinions bother me at all, like whatsoever. If you have something bad to say about me, go ahead and say it, because half of the people that say bad stuff about me or about anyone, they don't have, I don't know how to say this respectfully, they don't have the courage, let's just say that, they don't have the courage to actually speak up and like tell you guys in person. Anyways, I feel like I've just gotten on like a whole rant about that, but yeah, I've definitely faced a lot of challenges, and the biggest one being like finding my real people and finding my circle. And now I can say this with full confidence that I have found my group of people in my circle, and let me just tell you, it is nothing like middle school, it is nothing like freshman year. It is a lot smaller, and I bet all the people, if I could have all the people that I'm close to and I trust in a room with me, I promise you there's gonna be a lot of space in that room, because it's less than like 10. It's not even 10. So let me just tell you, quality over quantity, because that took me forever to kind of realize that. I always thought like having the most amount of friends was like the most ideal thing ever, but now I'm like, I don't care about how many friends I have. I just care that if I have a friend, if I have a boyfriend, if I have a relationship with someone, whether it's platonic or romantic, I just need my people that I can trust, that trust me, that love me, that give me that attention, so then I can reciprocate that, because I honestly am done putting my energy in stuff that I'm not getting it back in. You know what I mean? And I feel like that takes a lot of time to kind of get into. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much my story, and that's how I started YouTube and all of that. So now I want to kind of dive into like what led me here, and like why I'm here now, and why I chose to start this podcast, and like what the whole deal is. So for the longest time ever, I feel like this year and even last year, I felt that YouTube was becoming more of like a chore instead of something that I was actually passionate about. And then 2024 hit, and I was like, you know what? That's when I had my like irritated moment, because the thing is, I let it all pile up. I'm still working on this, but I let everything like pile up, and then the minute I'm like so irritated with myself, I will like go at myself, and I will be hard on myself, but in like a motivating way, not in like a bad way. Like, I don't want to like, so I will be like, Rishima, like, you actually like you're not doing anything with your life, like you need to start doing something. And I have been craving like a passion project for so long, and 2024 hit, and I made a vision board for the first time, and I literally put a podcast on my vision board, and that came true. And I was like, you know what? That's like the feeling I had for YouTube when I wanted to start content creation for YouTube is the same feeling I got for this podcast. And that's how I knew that I need to start, because I'm hungry for like this passion project, But yeah, I hope you guys got to know a little bit more about me, and there's so much more that I want to talk about, but I need to kind of wrap it up because this is the first episode, and I don't want to like put everything in one episode yet. But yeah, and I really appreciate you guys for clicking on this, because it means a lot to me, and the support that I've gotten till this day is like it never goes unnoticed, okay? And I love you guys. Yeah, that's Real Talk with Rishima. Thank you for clicking here. Thank you for joining me. Let me know what you guys think of this first episode. And if you guys have any more questions or podcast episode ideas or whatever is on your mind, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for clicking on this video once again, or this podcast episode. I'm still learning on how to kind of train myself to saying podcast episode instead of YouTube video, because I'm so used to saying YouTube videos. So bear with me, but thank you so much again, and I will see you guys back with another podcast episode. Bye, guys.